So first few minutes into solving some questions. Let's begin. I hope you're all ready. 45 seconds time and we have the questions in front. Correct. Believe that to give a notice. I mean, we have not seen this to remove the speaker. Wrong. No grounds are mentioned in the constitution for the removal. This is correct actually. Right? That in the constitution, what is the ground, reason to remove the speaker? That's not mentioned. Okay. And the voting for removal requires an effective majority in the Lok Sabha. Absolutely correct. And simple majority. No, this is not required for the speaker. Right? Speakers are removed only in the Lok Sabha. Why do we have this procedure for vice president, that the voting is effective majority in Rajya Sabha and then in the Lok Sabha simple majority? Is because VP is not just the chairperson of the Rajya Sabha, he or she is also the vice president of India, and that is why removal in both the houses. But for the speaker, he or she has no role to play in the running of the Rajya Sabha. So there is no such requirement like this. So 3 is also wrong. 2 statements are wrong. How many are correct? Only 1 is correct. Clear? Everyone? All okay? Great. Let's move on. Now, second question. Please mark your answer. To be a member of the House, he or she does not vacate his or her office. Absolutely correct. They continue. The deputy speaker is directly responsible to the speaker of Lok Sabha. Why would the deputy speaker be responsible to the speaker? Deputy speaker is an independent constitutional post, and this person is also responsible to the House only. Clear? So 2 is wrong. Hence, A1 only is the right answer. Clear on this? Easy question. Now let's move on to the third question. Incorrect yet again. Okay. Fourth schedule of the Indian Constitution deals with allocation of seats in the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Tell me, only in the Rajya Sabha, not in the Lok Sabha. The Lok Sabha seats are mentioned in the first schedule of RPA 1950. Yes or no? So this is wrong. Both the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha have representation from all the UTs. See, in the case of Rajya Sabha, it has representation from only 3 UTs. That is Pondicherry, Delhi, and Jammu and Kashmir. And the logic being that since MLAs vote to choose the members of Rajya Sabha, hence it makes no sense to have representation from those UTs which don't have MLAs. So only these 3 UTs. Clear? So this is also wrong. How many are incorrect? Both of them are incorrect. Okay. Moving on to the fourth question. One. But which statement is correct? So of course the third one is correct, because he is not nominated but elected by and from amongst the members. Okay. Second, he may or may not be a member of the House. Deputy chairperson, speaker, deputy speaker, these people are chosen from amongst the House only. How can they not be a member of the House? So this is also wrong. So which other statements is correct? Statement number 3 is correct. That's why I said read the question carefully. Okay. And the last question for the day. Is that my simple question? Please. Hats off. I'm telling you, please read the question carefully. Just 10 extra seconds. Don't lose patience. So now you know the answer. He can be impeached only on the charge of violation of constitution is a charge with respect to president, not for the vice president. Nothing is mentioned for him. On removal of president, the VP acts as a president. Absolutely correct. And the chief justice takes charge as vice president? Of course not. We don't need a VP. I mean, the VP's role is what? As a chairperson of the Rajya Sabha. And if the VP is not there, we already have a deputy chairperson in the Rajya Sabha. Okay? So 2 is also wrong. Incorrect? Both are incorrect. Okay? So, yes. Second statement is also incorrect, Tara. Haji Tara, what is your doubt? Tell me. I hope no issues or concerns. It's all explained properly, right? Ground of, it is only the president who is removed in this ground. Simple. Vice president, no reason is mentioned in the constitution. Revise. It's just revision, nothing else. Nothing else. Oh, this question is technical. What technical? Tara, how impeachment? That is why the statement is wrong. This is the reason the statement is wrong. Okay, Tara? Wrong. Okay, now let's see the leaderboard. Toppers. Oh, just 4 people topping today. What happened? Maria, Sonu, we'll have to mail to the has gone. There's no such proposal as of now. I don't know of it. If you have some other information directly from Home Ministry, let me know. Right. Certainly, if you go and start, okay. Please refer to your notes on Lok Sabha. Schedule 1 of RP 1950. Monica, don't fall prey to news channels. That is what news channels do. Fun. Want to create hatred in yourself. Great, Tara. Thank you so much. Now, we have had 2 questions. Part objectivity to the office of Speaker of Lok Sabha. Don't write no and run away from there. Explain. Okay. Clear? So, once a speaker, always a speaker. Do you think that this practice should be adopted to impart objectivity to the office of the Speaker of Lok Sabha? No, we cannot adopt it, of course. So, how do you write this question? In the intro, talk about how the speaker's role has come into question in certain cases where adequate time is not given to the opposition for discussion, etc., and bills are passed in a hurry. So, it is very important to ensure their independence. In the body, explain what is once a speaker concept. Please explain it. And then also mention why can't be done. And in the conclusion, you can simply say, but if not that, there are other things that can be done to ensure further independence. Clear? So this is how you write the answer. Please write your answer and mail it to Target IAS, get your score. Clear? Will we write this answer? Yes or no? No response. Good, bad, and straightforward question. Discuss the role of VP of India as the chairman of Rajya Sabha. So here you have to mention the functions of Vice President of India. But as chairperson in the Rajya Sabha. We saw this yesterday only. All the functions that we saw yesterday with the speaker, except two things. Which two things? In the case of money bill, yes. What else? And joint sitting. These are 2 points of difference, otherwise exact same powers. Static question. Sometimes functions are important because UPSC has gone down this very dangerous road of asking static questions also, right? So it's very, very important to focus on these as well. I hope the point is clear. Okay, so write this answer also. You already have 2 questions to write today. Now, yesterday, a lot of you, some of you, had this issue when I said that please read political theory, that it has 8 chapters, 10 chapters. So I took the effort today to Google search, take a screenshot, and bring it to your notice. So please write this in your Google search. Click on this political theory link. Okay, this can be done. And then this is a page. Now, if you download the complete book, you'll only get 8 chapters. But if you use open link here, you'll get the 9th and 10th chapter also. So basically, in the revision of the book, they have reduced the content due to the COVID and all. They reduced the content, so they removed 2 chapters only. But those 2 are actually there online. If you had only taken the effort to click here and verify, things would have been different. But anyway, I hope now the query is resolved for everybody. I hope now if I say 10 chapters, I won't get this concern that no, sir, only 8 chapters. Pavitra, even now, download from here if the book is not giving you 10 chapters, 2 more chapters from here. That can be done, right? Okay. I'll be very, very pleased to see this. Never ever as a doubt. Should we read from QR? For example, a very simple thing would be, right? We are using this concept. You have to be very, very clear in the case of president that it is the case that other people also get the benefit. Anubhav, nice. If I'm not wrong. Okay, guys, let's now move on and start discussing the topics at hand. Yes, Mayank Vadvani, 4, 5. It's not 4 times revision. As many times as you can. Okay. And majority is a very generic reference. In various situations, various types of majorities may be needed to perform some tasks in the parliament. Because ultimately, everything in the voting, it is just that for what kind of decision or for what kind of activity, what kind of voting is required is the only point of difference. So, because of that, we have 3 types of majorities called absolute, effective, and simple. Let's see one by one what are these majorities. First up is absolute majority. This is used, application, meaning use. This is used in the formation of the government at the center and states. formation of government at center and states. Meaning, after election, if any party wants to form the government, they will have to get this kind of majority. Meaning, these many people should be in favor of them in the house. Now, absolute majority means more than 50% of the total strength, meaning total membership of the house. More than 50% of total membership, TM. Total membership, TM. Let's take an example. Example with respect to Lok Sabha only. What is the total membership of Lok Sabha? 543. So what is going to be the absolute majority? More than 50% of 543. More than, what is 50%? 50% means 50 upon 100. That's how you write it. Simple maths. Of means into 543. This means half of 543 is what? 271.5. But we want more than that. We can't have half MP, right? We want more than this. This would mean 272. So these many people are required to form the government after election. So in the 2024 elections, 2024 elections, what are we going to do? We will have to observe that whichever party crosses this magical figure of 272, that party will form the government, Congress or BJP. 272 or more. Are we clear on this? Everybody? No doubts? Great. Now my question is, this majority is required in which house? Tell me. Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha? Why not Rajya Sabha? Why not Rajya Sabha? Which article is that? Which article? Lot of you are writing various unique kind of reasons. Because Rajya Sabha strength is this, etc. Guys, if we have this kind of response to such basic things, it will cause a heartbreak only. Article 75, Clause 3. The Council of Ministers are collectively responsible to the House of People. I mentioned there that this is the reason why the government is formed in Lok Sabha only, not in the Rajya Sabha. Don't give lame reasons. It feels very bad to read such reasons. Strength is there, etc. And somebody is asking me only, why not Rajya Sabha? Okay, so I hope now you understand. Why not Rajya Sabha? Because Article 75 Clause 3 says that the government is responsible to the House of People. So always in the lower house, the directly elected house, is the government formed. Clear? For example, recently in Karnataka, elections took place. Yes or no? Karnataka has 224. The total membership or strength of Karnataka is 224. Please tell me, how many people are required to form the government? How many MPs or MLAs, if they win, that party will form the government? Let's see. Difficult times, CSAT, right? Difficult calculation. I am seeing various answers: 123, 124, 213. Half of it, more than 50% of total strength or total membership. More than 50 by 100 into 224. You please solve this. You'll be surprised that the answer comes at 112. More than 50 by 100 into 224. You please solve this. You'll be surprised that the answer comes at 112. So more than 112, which is what? 113. This is the magical number. If you get this much or more, you have formed the government in Karnataka. Simple, like Congress has formed the government. Rumeza, what don't you understand? This calculation, not important. This statement, then how do I explain further? Okay. Megha, who is saying that PM is directly elected? Who made this statement? Roshan 113, how? More than 112 would be 113 only. Oh, my mistake. I ventured into CSAT, dangerous zone, right? Okay. This calculation, don't calculate. Ignore all this nonsense. This is for your CSAT faculty. Let him suffer. Why should I suffer? You just mug up this information only. That is important. More than 50% people required to form the government. That's it. This is polity. All this is just for fun. I thought let's make it more interactive. My bad. Completely. Ignore this. What is important? Two things. Number one, absolute majority is what? More than 50% of the people total membership in the house. And why only in lower house? Because of Article 75 clause 3. Simple. Let's move on now to something you have already seen, but I'm not really sure anymore whether there is something you have seen or not. Effective majority. Do you by any chance remember this? Somehow, maybe some of you, right? That long time ago, we saw this. Let's take the example of Rajya Sabha. The total membership of Rajya Sabha is 245. If, let us assume, some MPs of Rajya Sabha, remember the assumption, some MPs are going to go on a bus and 8 MPs are going and the bus crashes. All 8 MPs die, seat becomes vacant. So, what is the effective strength? Effective strength is total membership or total strength minus vacancy. So, in this example, you can calculate this as 245 minus 8, which is equal to 237. So, what is effective majority? More than 50% of effective strength. Just remember this calculation is all nonsense, not required. Are we clear? So, for those who want to calculate, more than 50% of 237. In your school and college days, you please contact your maths teacher. Tell them, what the hell is all this? What is being taught here? More than 50 by 100 is 50% into 237. What is half of 237? 118.5. More than that means what? 119 people would, in this example, mean effective majority, meaning these many people at least are required to support in those areas where effective majority is required. Clear? Now, where is this required? Article 67B, the removal of the vice president in the Rajya Sabha. Okay, this is where it is required. Now, Apart from this, the presiding officer of the Lok Sabha, the states across the country, the deputy presiding officer in the Lok Sabha, the deputy presiding officer in the Rajya Sabha, every presiding officer and deputy presiding officer in their respective houses, they are removed by this majority only. Clear? These are the two applications of effective majority. Now, in the constitution, they don't use the word effective majority. What they do is they use a phrase called all the then members. This is what is a reference to effective majority. Are we clear on this? All the then members. So this excludes vacancies. Clear? The difference between absolute and effective is that absolute includes vacancy, effective excludes vacancy. Simple. For example, this is nothing but a screenshot of the constitution only. This is Article 67B. A vice president, please observe, may be removed from his office by a resolution, a proposal of the Council of States. What is Council of States? Innocent aspirants, please tell me. Passed by a majority of all the then members. Can you see this? Majority of all the then members. So this phrase that you see here, all the then members, this is the reference to effective majority. Okay, this is what is called effective majority. Very simple. But then these are very special types of majorities used only in special cases. In every other place, we are not worried about how many people, how many vacancies, etc. We are simply looking into how many people have come on that day and are voting on that day. That's it. Simple. That is why it is so simple that it is called simple majority. Simple majority is the most common majority. It is used everywhere. That is why it's also referred to as a functional or a working majority, because this is what is used in every case where these kind of majorities, the earlier ones, are not used, most commonly used. And what's the logic here? How many people have come here today? 200. Okay, if more than half of you say yes, task is done. How many have come today? 98. If more than half say yes, bill is passed. Right? How many people have come today? 44. Now what do? If in the Lok Sabha 44 MPs have come, then tell me how many people are required to support the bill? Oh, some of you are trapped now. If 44 MPs have come in the Lok Sabha, quorum has not been met. If there is no quorum, sitting is cancelled. Suspension of the sitting. Yes or no? No problem. Cheap tricks to trap the innocent aspirants. Anyway. So, simple majority means more than 50% of people who are present and voting. Present and casting their vote, not going to the washroom, roaming around here and there. P and V. Very simple. So take the example of any house. Let's say Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha, total membership 543. Vacancies Let's assume 13 vacancies. We don't care about vacancy. Effective strength will become how much? Total membership minus vacancy, effective strength. But we don't care. We only care about this, present and voting. If 420 people are present on that day and voting, please tell me what is the number of people required to accept the proposal? More than 50% of 420. 50% means what? 50 upon 100. Of means into 420. Solve this. More than 210, which will be 211. So at least these many people are required to approve the task and the bill is passed. Simple. And that is why simple majority. We are not bothered about anything else. Are we clear on this? Simple majority. So, total number of people who are present and casting their vote. Now, in the constitution, it's a very, very common majority. And how can you spot it? That in this case, I need to use simple majority because of a word. In the constitution, they use a word called by law. If at any point of time you find this word by law, then that would mean only one thing. And what is that? Simple majority. Parliament by law, right? State legislature by law, parliament may by law, anywhere you find this word by law, it automatically means simple majority. Okay. Now, just to show you, this is Article 3 of the Indian Constitution. Look at the statement here. Parliament may by law. This would mean what? This would mean a reference to simple majority. I hope the point is now clear. And simple majority is the most commonly used majority. So everywhere, in all these situations, simple majority. In all these situations, simple majority. In all these situations, simple majority. That's it. Clear? So don't mug up this. Mug up other areas, right? Where it is not required. So if you know where other things are required, whatever remains is a simple majority only. Are we clear? Everybody? Okay, great. Minimum number of people required for the house to function is 10% of the total strength of the house, Bhuvnesh. Quorum, we saw this yesterday only. Megha, yes, it is possible that a question can be asked in prelims on this application. So you should remember, right? So just remember the other things where effective is required, where absolute is required, and everything else is simple. Now, we have seen so far the majorities, more than 50%, right? Yes, Mayank Vadwani, yes, absolutely correct. Now, let's come to understand special majorities, right? Sadhana says, what is the need of making different majorities? It is just like, take an example. If I have to ask, how is Byju's in general, how are the faculty in general, etc., to students, I will take the vote of all the students enrolled in Byju's. Okay. But if I have to ask, how was the class of polity yesterday? The logical thing would be to take only those people's opinion who took the class yesterday. Yes or no? So we may have to use different types of majorities for different kind of things. Clear? Okay. Now, when it comes to majority, more than 50%. But that is why we are using a word here, special majority. Oh, special. So what is so special here? Here we don't focus on 50%. We focus on at least two-third. This is what we focus on. At least two-third. Not more than, at least. Clear? Now, there are three different types of cases where we use this at least two-third, not 50%. One is Article 61. Article 61. Please tell me, innocent aspirants, which is this article? Great. Others who keep on asking questions, when I ask you questions, you are quiet. I don't want these names. I am seeing all these names for answers. I want those names who ask me questions. Where are your answers? Okay. Now you understand the problem. This is impeachment of the president. Do you have some faint recollection of this impeachment? We studied this point. And what was the majority? Two-third. Let's write completely before somebody flips off completely. At least two-third of what? Present and voting. Yes or no? Why silent? No, yes, no, yes, no, yes. No. Two-third of total membership. Okay, let me write like this. Total membership. Okay? Revisions going on in full swing. I can sense that. At least two-third total membership or total strength of the House. This is what is required to impeach the president. Anyway, I think this is something we have already discussed. I won't waste a single moment discussing this. Now, what is important for us is to understand these two articles, 249 and 312. These are actually special powers of Rajya Sabha. Okay, special powers of Rajya Sabha. And here the majority required is at least two-third present and voting. P and V. Clear on this? Slight difference. So what is the special power of Rajya Sabha? Now let's look at it. Those two articles, what is the meaning and what is the provision under these two articles? I would request the enthusiastic aspirants here to please focus on what I'm explaining rather than asking a question between, because every doubt will be covered. Okay, but only if you can pay a bit of attention, right, and not type something, please. So if at all, it is necessary, expedient. Necessary, or the other word is expedient. Necessary or expedient or urgent, whatever, in national interest. Now, there is no definition of what can be urgent in national interest that the Rajya Sabha can decide. Then, Rajya Sabha can authorize, meaning give permission, the parliament. So, parliament means including itself, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So, Rajya Sabha can authorize the parliament to do what? Number one, it can authorize the parliament to make laws on state list subjects. Right? State list subjects. This is the authorization given by the Rajya Sabha. And we know very well that this authorization will come with what kind of majority? It will come by at least 2/3 present and voting. Clear? Now, when the permission is given that come on, Parliament, now start making laws on state list subjects. So, firstly, it is not mandatory. It's just a permission given. Parliament may or may not make laws. It is not mandatory. It can make laws. On what topic? That is mentioned in the permission. That on the topic of public order for say Madhya Pradesh, Parliament make a law. Now, two things. Point one, such a permission or authorization is valid for 1 year at a time. So, if today the Rajya Sabha gives permission, then for the next 1 year, the Parliament may or may not make laws on those topics where the Rajya Sabha has given permission to Parliament to make laws for next 1 year. All 365 days. You can make laws every day. You cannot make a law a single day also. It's okay. Now, can this permission be given again? Yes. This permission can be renewed any number of times, just like your subscription, right? To Prime, to Netflix, to YouTube, etc., Hotstar, it can be renewed any number of times. Same thing. But the permission to use the application is for say 1 month or 1 year. After 1 year, again permission if you want to use it. Same thing here. 1 year permission to make laws. If you don't make laws, sorry, permission over, chance over. If you want to still make laws, Rajya Sabha has to again give permission. Can be renewed any number of times. The only condition is same majority is required. Every time. Clear? Now, what about the laws made under this? What about them? So, laws made under the authorization are not valid forever. If let's say Parliament makes a law on some topic, take it for example, topic of police for Rajasthan, that law is not applicable forever. No, no, no. Laws made under the permission are valid for 6 months, or rather, let's write 6 more months. Just to explain, 6 months after end of authorization. So laws will cease to operate after this. Wait. I'll explain through dates also. Take an example. Let's say on 5th of September 05/09/2023. Today, what happened? The Parliament made a law, of the Rajya Sabha gave permission that Parliament go and make laws on the matter of police for Rajasthan. Authorization given. Now, this authorization is valid for how many years? 1 year at a time. So, on the 4th of September 2024, next year, authorization or permission ends. Clear? Now, let us assume that, say, the Parliament does make a law in the month of October, in the month of December, in the month of April, etc. They make laws. Multiple laws are being made again and again. Okay? Once these laws have been made, these laws, whenever they are made, October, December, April, they continue till the permission continues. And also 6 months after the permission continues. Meaning, till this date. Till what date? Till 3rd of, you can add 6 more months here, 3rd of March 2025. So every law made, it all ends. So on this date, all laws made cease to operate, meaning are over, done. Are we clear? When for the 1 year time permission is given, whatever laws you are making, Parliament, on state list topic, those laws are not permanent. When the permission is over, 6 more months time is given. After the end of 6 months, all the laws you made, whether in October, April, December, we don't care. Every law you made because of this permission, all the laws are over. When? 6 months after this date, on this exact same date, all laws are over. Whether some law was made before, after, does not matter. Are we clear? And yes, when the Parliament is making a law, by law, simple majority. Permission, 2/3. I hope this point is clear. Clear? Everybody? No, Bhuvnesh. The permission is for 1 year. Ruling party changes, does not change. We don't care. This structure is followed. Simple. A Charan, write what is the problem. Tell me the exact statement. I am waiting, no problem. Megha, if Parliament does not make a law, what happens? Nothing happens. Don't make a law. So basically, in short, some of you, the same old story. Please explain again. No standard issue somewhere, not paying attention simply. Anyway, I'll explain and summarize this once again. Otherwise, you can see the video because this cannot be explained better than this. Trust me, I know it. Okay. So, if it is very, very urgent in, say, national interest. Now, what is urgent in national interest? It's not mentioned anywhere. It is not mentioned anywhere. But if it is very urgent in national interest, then Rajya Sabha can authorize, give permission to Parliament to make laws on stateless subjects. Rajya Sabha can give the permission to make laws on stateless subjects. This permission is only valid for 1 year, meaning for the next 1 year, from the starting date, from today onwards to the next 1 year, permission will be given. In this duration, the Parliament can make laws, may not make laws. It's okay, it's your choice. If you don't make law, no problem, right? So it's like the permission is given. Now, this permission to make laws for 1 year can be extended 1 year, 1 year, 1 year, any number of times, just like some of your subscription in Netflix or Hotstar or Amazon Prime Video. 1 year subscription. Clear? Now, in this duration, as I said, Parliament can make a law, may not make a law. But if the Parliament makes a law, whether in October, December, whether today also, we don't care. You make a law today, tomorrow, in the month of April, on the 4th of September next year, it does not matter. All these laws, whenever they were made during the permission period, they all are dead. They are thrown away on this date. And what is this? 6 months after permission ends. Are we clear? Now, Pavitra, as I explained, national interest is not defined. So how would I know what is national interest? Clear? Now let's see what else is your concern, if at all any, after this also. No concern? Yes, Kumari. Yes, of course. And now tell me something. A more no, Shahul Hamid. No, these are rarely used things and are never used like this. Okay. So in certain situations, for example, uh, uh, for land laws, these kind of things have been done, right? Otherwise, these things are never done. These are rarely used provisions. Sometimes for land laws, etc., like in 2013-14, this is done. Clear? That's it. Yashiv, what did I erase 6 months tenure? What have I erased? Nonsense here. Never asking realistic questions, asking I don't know what kind of questions. I hope this point is done, right? And has been explained. If the authorization extends, the law extends. Clear? If the authorization does not extend, the law does not extend. Clear? Okay, great. Don't write a question to confirm. Write a question which is actually a concern. Madhuri, we cannot define words by Google searching for things, right? National interest and these terms need to be categorically defined in the constitution, right? Meaning, what exactly would be a situation? So that is not mentioned. For us, it may feel that if, say, Pakistan attacks India, national interest. For somebody, it would be a very 2 hour thing. So these are subjective things. Are you clear? Subjective. Now, let's move on because it's almost impossible to satisfy some of you here because you will constantly have question and this is something with every topic, right? And when I ask questions, all I get is disappointment completely. Complete disappointment. Second thing, this is all under article. Madam, please focus on studies, where I am from, what is the point of asking these things? How are others tolerating all this? I'm very surprised to find this batch. Some of you, not all. Frankly, I am also surprised that a lot of good students are here in this batch. They also seem to be suffering only. Can we use these ways in answers like using arrows? What do I say to all this? Okay, now, again, this part remains the same. Again, same old story. Please hear me out first. If it is necessary or urgent or expedient in national interest. Now, what's this national interest? Again, not defined. It can be very, very subjective. Very subjective, right? So, if it is urgent in national interest, then Rajya Sabha can authorize the parliament to do what? To create a new all India service. Okay. Now, what is this all India service? Or, for example, what are the current all India services? Please tell me in one statement only. Currently, the 3 all India services. Tell me which 3? Indian Administrative Service, Indian Police Service, and Indian Forests, not foreign. Foreign service is a group A service at the central government level. It is the foreign services. It is a forest services because foreign affairs are controlled by center, not states. So currently we have 3 all India services, right? But if you want to create more, Indian Education Service, Indian Medical Service, etc., what you have to do is ask Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha, please give permission. Once permission is given, then the parliament can create a new all India service. Actually, there is a law in the country. That law is called All India Services Act of 1951. Whenever you have to create any new all India service, like we did for Indian Forest Service in 1966, we have to modify this law only. Are you clear? We have to modify this law. So, to modify this law, the Rajya Sabha has to give the permission with what majority? 2/3 majority. And then we'll bring a bill called All India Services Amendment Bill. And then we can create some new kind of service. Like we did this for Indian Forest Service. Like we have made a change in Article 312 for an All India Judicial Service. That's also there. We can do all this. So it is not that difficult. But the real question now, beyond all this, the real question is why does or why are we giving this power to Rajya Sabha? Tell me, why to Rajya Sabha? Why not Lok Sabha? Tell me, Why do we have this power with the Rajya Sabha only? Okay, some of you are mentioning the correct answer. The correct answer is that since all these provisions impact the states also, what is Rajya Sabha? What's the purpose? Rajya Sabha is the representation of states in the parliament. Rajya Sabha protects the federal culture in the country. Rajya Sabha is the protection of interest of states at the central level. That is why if Rajya Sabha says okay, then okay. Are we clear? So this is why we have this power given to the Rajya Sabha. Revise this, especially this, all these provisions, there can be a prelim based question only from this. Nothing beyond this can ever be asked because there is nothing beyond this. That's all you have. Clear? So the example is this only here. Indian Forest Service was created in 1966. Okay, so 1966. Originally, we only had two, ICS and IP, meaning IAS, Indian Civil Service, that is IAS now, and IP, Indian Police, meaning now Indian Police Service. Now we have three All India services. Okay, that's it. Coming back again here. So we are done with this and we are done with this also. Now comes a very critical question. How do we modify the constitution? So for that, there is a proper provision, Article 368. This provision talks about what? Amendment to constitution. How to amend the Indian constitution? This is Article 368. Article is very important. Please don't forget the article. Now, here it is not just one majority, it's a combination of two majorities. More than 50% of the total strength or total membership. Same thing. I have repeated this hundreds of times now. Strength, membership are used interchangeably. It's the same thing. And at least 2/3 present and voting. Clear? So it's a combination. And here, whichever is more, whichever is higher. Don't worry, I'll explain through an example. So now let's move on to understand amendment to the Indian Constitution, Article 368. And what is this? This is the process. Very simple, very easy to understand. What is that? The majority of 2/3 members, you just can see here, 2/3 members present and voting, and more than 50% of the total strength of the house. Combination. And the point is, whichever is higher or more. Clear? That's it. Details I'll discuss shortly. We have the details also. We'll discuss this shortly. Don't worry. Just focus on this procedure right now. Okay. Let's take an example for you to have a slightly more comprehensive, a better understanding on this. So when it comes to such procedures, this thing or this amendment can be initiated in either house and all. We'll discuss this shortly. So let's take an example of Lok Sabha only. In Lok Sabha, how many people would be required to actually amend the constitution? So let's take Lok Sabha. The total strength or total membership of Lok Sabha is how much? 543. I was surprised to see somebody mentioning it's 545 today, right? It's 543, not 45. Then let's assume there is some vacancy. Say 13 people, 13 seats are vacant, 13 MPs are dead. Now, this would mean effective strength would be 530. And on any given day, say 420 people have come and they are voting. All of them are voting. Now, how many people are required to amend? This calculation is not important at all for the examination. I am doing this just for you to have a better understanding, not to confuse you, because I have no idea how poor you are in maths or how good you are in maths. This is basic calculation. All you have to do is mug up this. That's it. That should be of concern to you, not this. This is just to help you understand. Don't write the answer. You've all mentioned wrong answer. So far, 4 people, all wrong answers. Hear me out. 5th, wrong answer. Hear me out now. 6th, wrong answer. Not a single right answer. Okay. Now, let's look at this. Let's look at this. 2 things are required. More than 50% total membership and 2/3 PNV. Let's calculate. More than 50/100 into TM, 543. Actually, if you observe, this number is fixed because total membership is fixed. Yes or no? Total membership is actually fixed. Now, this we had calculated earlier also. This comes to 272. You can calculate it. You'll find out 272. Let's fuse this now. 2/3 into PNV. What is PNV? 420. 420. 3. Now, this would be some calculation. 314 times is 42 into 2, 280. Now, please tell me, what should be the number required? How many people should say yes, and then only a change can be made? Please tell me. Whichever is higher, absolutely correct. Whichever is higher. Here, what is higher? Here, 280 is higher. So, these many people are required in this case, and we can say task is done. Are we clear, everybody? Okay? Great. Let's, for fun, solve one thing. If PNV is 360, then tell me, how many people are required to amend the constitution? Let's see. Lot of you are writing the wrong answer. Lot of you are writing the wrong answer. This is same, yes or no? More than 50% of total membership. This will always be 272. PNV keeps on changing because people present keeps on changing. So 2/3 into 360. Of course, you correctly calculated it. It comes at 240. But how many people are required to change the constitution? Can we read this statement here? Everybody, whichever is higher, yes or no? Right? Which is higher? This number is higher. Are we clear now? All those who mentioned 240. Right? And one more thing. Some of our enthusiastic people will say, sir, and is mentioned. Boolean algebra. Constitutional makers did not have this concept of Boolean algebra. That is why, if you add these two majorities, imagine this situation. how will you ever get the majority? It is not possible, right? So please don't add it. Okay, let the Boolean algebra be outside the polity class. This means whichever is higher only. Okay, are you clear, all of us? No problem. Just solve one more. If P and V is 510, 510 people have come on that day, then how many people are required? Let's see. I think now maybe some minor calculation, but you get the gist, right? Or some of you again, 2, 3, 4, 5, some 6. Some people are still making the same mistake. They again have no understanding of this statement, but most of you are correct. Absolutely correct. Great. This number is fixed, 272. What is 2 by 3 of 510? 317 times 340. 340 or 272, which is higher number? This number. These many people are required. Anyway, all this is of no concern. Just ignore it. Like you ignore my request for revision. This is what you have to mug up. SK, sir, what is P and V? Sir, present and voting, sir. P and V, present and voting. P and V. P and V, present and voting. Anyway, are we clear? Now one more small point. Just to add this point here. Take an example. This election of the Indian president. The electoral college. Remember? Back in those good old days. Electoral college. Remember? Which article says, mentions electoral college? Firstly, tell me. Which article talks about electoral college? Okay, very good. Great. Article 54 talks about electoral college. In the electoral college, we have both MPs and MLAs. Elected MPs, elected MLAs. But today, if we need to, modify this, some of you here say, no, sir, it is very complicated. Why vote value concept confusing? I want to remove it. No MLAs only. No problem. Great. So you want to amend Article 54 and you want to remove MLAs only from voting. That's possible. It can be done. It can be done. My point is how? If the parliament uses this procedure and makes a change, you are actually violating the power of the state also. Right now, states have a say. States currently have a say when it comes to what? When it comes to voting for the president. But if you remove their power, MLAs will not vote now. You are actually interfering with the state's power. Meaning you are trying to change what we may call federal structure. Remember first class federalism, state and center, division of power, state government, central government. So whenever a constitutional amendment bill tries to change the federal structure, you also have to ratify. Ratify means to pass. Remember this word. This word is important. Ratified is a very commonly used word. Ratify means to pass or approve. Ratify. By states also. How many states? 2/3 members present and voting plus more than 50%. That is required. That's okay. This is done. And also supported by not less than, meaning at least 50% of the state legislatures. Half of the states have to do it by a simple majority. Are we clear? Half of the states will do it through a simple majority. Meaning, what is simple majority? More than 50% present and voting. P and V for our innocent people means present and voting. Clear? By law. So if you want to modify any federal feature, it's a two-step procedure. Two-step procedure. Step 1 at the parliament. Step 2 at the state level. Clear? Now somebody can have a question, but sir, what is this federal structure? How do I know that something is a federal structure, something is not? Fair enough. What is federal structure? What is not a federal structure? It is mentioned in the constitution only. It is mentioned in the same article. These are the places, if you make a change here, then you need state's approval also. In other cases, not required. I will repeat, hear me patiently. In these cases, if you want to make a change, state's approval is needed. In other cases, to hell with state's approval. We don't care. Are we clear? Now, before I come to this, two things. Number one, states will have to approve in what time? No time frame for states to approve. If the, how many states do we have? How many states do we have? Okay. Some of you are mentioning this also wrong. 28 states, not 29, 28 states. No problem. Half means what? 14. The moment the 14th state approves, change is made. After 1 year, after 10 years, after 1,000 years, we don't care. The moment the 14th state approves, the change is made. Now, what about other states? What if all the remaining 14 say no, we reject it? We don't care. Nobody asked your opinion. I only want half the state's approval. The other half, you cry, you enjoy, you laugh, you say yes, no, we don't care. Are we clear on this? So two things are important. We don't really need other states' approval. We need only half the state's approval. Okay. Now, when it comes to those federal features, what exactly are these? Number one, election of the president and its manner, Article 54, 55, etc. Extent, limit of the center's power and state's power. If you want to increase the center's power, decrease the state's power, of course, you are violating the division of power. Supreme Court and High Courts, if you want to remove their power, Supreme Court, High Court's power, reduce their power, look at this, states also have to approve. So today, the parliament cannot decrease Supreme Court's power without states' approval. I'll give a simple example. Sometimes, parliament gives makes a law and says, this is beyond judicial review. Courts can't review it. Courts cancel it, saying, when you have made the statement, you are trying to reduce our power. Did you get the amendment approved by the states? No? Cancelled. They do all this. So if you want to reduce Supreme Court's power, reduce High Court's power, clear? Then distribution of the legislative law-making power between union and the states. This also requires amendment with the state's approval. Any of the list in the 7th schedule. Now, some of you may say that, sir, Article 249 is a very limited article. Look at Article 249. Article 249 does what? It says by for 1 year, center make laws. But every time you want to extend the authorization, again go to Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha, please pass. We want to make laws on state list subject. The best thing would be take a topic from state list and put it in the union list. Done. End of story only. Or take a topic from state list and put it under union list. Done. If you want to do this, any of the list in the 7th schedule. This is what is required. Clear? Then representation of states in the parliament. So whenever you are changing the number of MPs from any state in the parliament, right, that also needs what? State's approval. So tomorrow, I mean, not tomorrow, as in the coming times, when we will have to again change the 1971 census. Remember, 1971 census is being used to represent states in the Lok Sabha election, voting of the president, all these things. If you want to change that, you would need this procedure only. Half the states have to approve it. Clear? And lastly, if somebody says, no, sir, I find this method only wrong, this is too complicated, something simple, I want to change this, no problem. You join the government, tell the bosses that, sir, let's change it. But to change this also, the same procedure is required. Changing the procedure also requires this only. So you have to do at least this once. Are we clear? Please mug up this list. This list is important. Clear? A prelims based question can be asked at any point of time. Done? No doubts, no concerns, no issues. Should we move on now? Now, some of you had some Kumkum explain fifth. This one. I mean, if there is a topic like we did in 1976, there were 5 topics from the state list which were taken to the concurrent list. If you want to modify, no, 7th schedule. Oh, somebody says 7th schedule. So in the very first class, we had studied this article 246, the 3 lists that we have. So if you want to take a topic from the union list and move to state list, why would the center do it? If you want to make a topic from state list to a union list or concurrent list, then this can be done. Kumkum, no sir, 6th one. Now 6th one. Okay. How many MPs are there? Simple. Understand this. What is schedule for? Tell me, Kumkum. I'm waiting for your answer now. Don't Google search. Type quickly. No, Namrata. Language is correct. Allocation of seats in the Rajya Sabha. This means if I today want to increase number of MPs from Andhra Pradesh should become 40. Right? Then I have to use this procedure only. Simple. Okay. Now meaning of third. Bhuvnesh, meaning of third. Sir, third one I explained that only, sir. That if you want to ever reduce the power of Supreme Court or High Courts, then you have to use this procedure only. No, 4th and 5th are not the same. Legislative powers of states can be curtailed without modifying the lists. It's possible. Okay. So that is there. Borrowing power of states, etc., that can be curtailed without even modifying the 7th schedule. Amarlapuri, yes, it has been done. This has been done very commonly. I'll give you an example. I'm not sure if you know. There is something called NJAC. Have you heard of this NJAC by any chance? No? NJAC refers to the National Judicial Appointment Commission. So this was done in one case in Supreme Court, or in one amendment that is called the 99th Amendment Act. So basically what we wanted to do was we wanted to make the appointment of judges through a different, a unique kind of body called NJAC. This body was created. When this body was created, the amendment was made. That amendment was called the 99th Amendment to the Indian Constitution in the year 2014. This was also approved by half of the states. Clear? Now, coming to some other important factors to be kept in mind while making amendments. Okay. Now, so such bills can be initiated in either house of parliament. So it is not that these constitutional amendment bills can be introduced in the Lok Sabha only or Rajya Sabha only. They can be brought in any house, Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. But the only limitation is it can't be brought in state legislatures. So in our country, states have no power to initiate a proposal, okay, to amend the constitution. They can only wait for center to send them any kind of amendment bill. They cannot start a bill on their own. No, in some countries like USA, it is there. In USA, if 2/3 states agree, they can initiate a proposal to make changes in the constitution. India is not a federal country completely. States don't have this power. Then they can be introduced either by a minister or by a private member. Now, a question here. I have explained this point earlier only in the Article 75. Can you please tell me who is a private member? Let us see how efficient. Okay, fair enough. See. So I really wanted to know answers from those people who actually normally ask questions. They are always missing here. Okay. Anyway, so for those who do not know, others most of I think know this. Private member is an MP only, but those MPs who are not ministers. Very simple. Absolutely correct. Most of you MPs who are not ministers. Clear? So I'll just repeat for a moment quickly. This is a parliament. So in the parliament, you have all these MPs sitting. All the MPs are sitting in the parliament, right? Some of these MPs are ministers because we know very well that executive is a part of legislature. Yes or no? Which article? Type quickly. Others, don't sit idle. Tell me. Executive is a part of legislature. Which article? Article and clause. So these people are ministers. And other MPs are non-ministers. Non-minister. These people are called private members. Article 75 clause 5, 164 clause 4. Absolutely correct. Article 75 clause 5 says executive is a part of legislature. So back to the point here. These kind of proposals to modify the constitution, it is not that only a minister can bring this proposal. Any MP can bring this proposal. For example, look at this. This is a proposal, a bill to amend the constitution brought by some MP. He's from Congress. He's a private member. This person is not a minister. So these can be brought by anyone. Then each house must pass the bill separately. No concept of joint sitting. Clear? Also, we saw some examples that sometimes some bills require the previous or prior permission of the president. This kind of bill does not need the prior permission of the president also. No need. Like say money bill, Article 3, etc. These bills need the prior permission of the president. Clear? And lastly, tell me, when was this change made? We have already seen this under veto powers, that a constitutional amendment bill must be signed by the president. He has no veto power here. The president must give his assent to the bill. He can neither withhold nor return, nothing. must give assent. Which Amendment Act? Absolutely correct. Great, amazing. That's why I say that there's clear distinction in this class. Very good, guys. This was done via 24th Amendment Act 1971. Refer to the veto power page. We have discussed this before. Revision. Clear? Now, just to explain this point here, may not be of concern, but just to explain. So some of you have been asking or did ask me earlier that, sir, to remove the president, you are saying violation of constitution, but it is not defined also. What is meant by violation of constitution? How will he violate the constitution? So think of it. The president gets a bill, which is a constitutional amendment bill. Now, let me clarify. This article says that the president should sign the bill. Sign, right? Sign. In how many days? All of you agreed that the president has to sign, but in how many days? That is not mentioned. Yes or no? Number of days within which the president must give assent. That is not mentioned. Yes, you are saying that you have to sign. I agree. But time is not mentioned. What if the president gets a constitutional amendment bill and keeps it pending, trying to use indirectly a pocket veto? That's a problem. So after a certain point of time, if the MPs get a feeling that we have sent a bill, which is a constitutional amendment bill, and look at the president, he is not signing it, this may be considered to be an example of violation of the constitution. Are we clear on this? So this can be an example of how he or she may violate the Indian constitution. Clear? That's it. We are done with the amendment procedure. Before we take a break, let us solve some questions first. 1, 2, and 3 questions. And then we'll take a break. Starting with this question asked this year only, 2023. Others who made minor mistake, as I had explained earlier also, whatever bills he or she signs, those bills will not be cancelled. So whatever acts or tasks he performs during that passage, that will remain, right? So all acts done by him or her in the performance of duties of his or her office before the date of decision become invalid. No. They don't become invalid. Wrong. Election for the post of President of India can be postponed on the ground that some assemblies have been dissolved. I explained this that no, just because your state MLAs are not there, we can't postpone the election. Nonsense. Elections take place on their fixed time. If your MLAs are not there, that's your personal problem. Some MPs have died, personal problem. We can't postpone the election. These two, refer to your slides on Article 71. You'll get the information there. And lastly, when a bill is presented to the President of India, the Constitution prescribes time limits. We fully agree that the Constitution makes it binding, but time limit is not prescribed. Different things. Wrong. All three are wrong. D. None. Aditi, as of now, good old days of elimination, right? This is the answer. When a bill is presented to the president, it is obligatory for the president to sign. Yes, correct. A constitution amendment bill must be passed by both the Lok Sabha and Raj Sabha separately by a special majority, and there is no provision for joint sitting. Absolutely correct. B, 2, and 3. Last question, and then we'll take a break. Question asked in 2013. Okay, Tarun. This is also an easy question. Somebody says, when you say B action of a bill in the Lok Sabha only, it's wrong, we know. This can be any house. But those who mark B as correct, you fell prey to a small play of word here. If such an amendment seeks to make changes in the federal character, the amendment also requires to be ratified, approved, passed by the legislature of how many states? How many states? Half of the states. This is where the mistake was made. 2 is also wrong. D, neither 1 nor 2. Okay. Reading the statement carefully is very, very important. That's it. We are done. One small point. The same kind of majority, that is 2/3 present and voting and more than 50% total strength. The same kind of majority is also used in certain other situations in the country. I have mentioned all these things here only for you. As and when the time comes, we'll get to see all these things. Don't worry right now. But when the time comes, you will see that, oh, for removal of judges of Supreme Court, High Court, CEC, CAG, even SEC, the same kind of combination majority is required, which is used to also amend the constitution. Don't worry, we'll discuss this when the time comes. Okay, let's take a break now, guys. Sorry for the extended delay. We'll come back at 7. Yes, Rajshri. Initial. Come back, guys. Let's start. You questions like these, but continue. Types of bills in the parliament. So, bills in the parliament can be categorized along 2 lines. Okay. Production. So, in the by a minister, we will say the bill is a public bill. Can also say the bill is a government bill. Okay. That's it. Then, what is also very important is to understand whether a bill is brought by a minister or a private member. Beyond that, you cannot simply walk in on any random day and tell the speaker or chairman, here, sir, bill, I want to introduce it. That's not how the house functions. The entire agenda for the day is already set. Okay, not for just today, for the next 15-20 days. So things are properly set. You cannot surprise the house, and normally agenda is not something that you tamper with. So when, let's say I'm a minister and I want to introduce a bill, I need to inform the presiding officer 7 days beforehand only. Prior notice of 7 days is needed. Are we clear? So if I want to get my bill introduced, say today, I should have informed the house 7 days beforehand at least. Then will I get a date by the presiding officer that, okay, on that day you can come and introduce or read your proposal in the house. Clear? Now, sometimes the government wants to urgently bring a bill. Very simple. If you can get your bill published, a draft bill in the Gazette, if draft copy is published in the Gazette, what is Gazette? The government's magazine. Do you remember? Gazette of India. Then 1 day notice needed. Only 1 day prior notice. That's it. Nothing else is needed. Clear? So this is for ministers. But what's a private member bill? As the name suggests, a bill which is brought by somebody who is a private member, who is a private member, meaning a non-minister, introduced by non-minister MP. A private member can be from BJP. Yes or no? A private member can be from BJP. Possible? Yes, of course, possible. There are 300 MPs from BJP. Only 40-50 are ministers. Others are all private members only. Okay. Now, when it comes to ministers, 7-day notice is required. But for them, 30 days prior notice. Okay. 30 days. See, one reason is that these private members do not have the expertise because they are non-ministers. A minister has the expertise of people like you, bureaucrats, entire gamut of IS officers, secretary, special secretary, OSD, additional, deputy, joint, all these people to have a perfectly carved out bill with no legal inconsistencies whatsoever. But these MPs, they don't have such expertise. They have just one personal staff, and that's it. So the entire burden of ensuring that the bill is logical, not ultra vires the constitution, etc., falls on the shoulder of this MP. That is why we have to double check on all these things. Okay. Now, when it comes to these bills, you cannot randomly start giving notice every day. There's a limit. Maximum 3 bills per day, per member per session. So in every session, one MP can only give notice for 3 such bills. And also, so you know that we have sitting every day, Monday to Friday. After 2 p.m., these bills are discussed. Don't think that the private bills can be discussed every day. No. Only Fridays. In fact, in reality, it is done only alternate Fridays, but only Fridays. So these bills are discussed only on Fridays. You can give the notice only on Friday, right? That's how it is, sadly. So private members don't have this opportunity of giving all these things. Just to tell you, in the last few years, and when I say few, I mean to say last 50 years, more than 50 years, not a single private member bill has ever been passed. Ever. Right? Last time it was passed was in 1970. Last time. And so far since independence, or rather since 1950, so far only 14 have been passed. See, I think there was in this year 1956 record of 6 private member bills were passed. But that's the only thing. Right now, in the last 53 years, not a single such bill. There was this very famous bill brought by Tiruchi Siva. That bill was on the rights of transgenders. And that bill was passed by Rajya Sabha. But when it went to Lok Sabha, the government had no interest of passing the bill. They dropped it, saying, "Don't worry, Mr. Tiruchi Siva will bring a better bill." Right? That's there. That is why, let me tell you, in the 16th Lok Sabha, the previous Lok Sabha, that is from 2014-2019, 999 notices were given to introduce the bill. 10 were discussed. 10. 1%. 1% bills were discussed. Clear? Only Fridays means, Vaishnavi, that such bills can be introduced or discussed only on Friday. Are we clear? Anyone? That bill, which bill, Ramadevi? This last one. The last bill to be ever passed was the Supreme Court Enlargement of Criminal Appellate Jurisdiction Act of 1970. So this bill was the last one to be passed. Name not important. Clear? There are so many MPs, but each MP give 3 bills. Then how many bills? No, can give 3 bills. And Pooja, can you read this? Last time passed here only. Nothing has been passed. Clear? Nothing has been passed. They don't pass only. There are 2 reasons. Why are private member bills not passed? Point number 1. Nancy, currently any bill passed? Nancy, I'm saying last time it was passed in 1970. Why this question? One issue is that these bills largely are not very appropriate. See, one thing can be that if you get this bill passed, it shows the government in very poor light. That minister, uh, would how would he respond now in his own ministry when the tasks are being performed? He has all IS officers. Some random MPs getting bills passed. This means what? This shows the lack of concern the person has for his own ministry. So it reflects very poorly on the minister's personal performance. Useless, incompetent. That's what people will call him. That's one reason. Second reason is, just to tell you, there was this case when this MP from Bihar, she introduced a bill. Now, this very interesting bill. See, in our country, people spend a lot of money in marriage ceremonies, lot of money, and you all see all these, bills. Sorry, all these marriage ceremonies where you see all the rich celebs having these ceremonies in outdoor locations, destination wedding, pre-wedding photo shoot, blah blah blah. All this happens. A middle class family kid also wants their those aspirations, etc. And they'll pressurize their parents. Parents will then get burdened and spend more money beyond what their means, and then end into a into a debt trap. So one this MP said that, see, in our country, parents are spending or people are spending so much money on these marriage ceremonies. Let's have a limit now. Nobody can spend more than this certain amount, right? Fixed limit, 5 lakh rupees only. And the problem is, if you get this kind of bill where let it be passed, if it is passed that nobody can spend more than 5 lakh rupees in a marriage ceremony, how will you check it? How will you check it? Right? Then you'll have to hire new officers. All India marriage service, new kind of service only. Indian marriage service officers. Their task, go to every marriage ceremony, eat the food, check the lighting, see the bill. Then people won't be IS officers. First preference, Indian marriage service. See, this bill is not logical. That's why all the MPs said, very good, madam, great bill. Now sit down. Because you can't pass this bill. It makes no sense. Just recently, one more MP gave notice for this. This is just to attract some attention, right? These bills make no sense. Okay? So that is there with respect to Pooja. Few examples of private Pooja, every bill that you have seen, every bill, every law that you are seeing right now in the country being passed is all public bill only. Everything. Recently, the data protection bill, it was a government bill only, right? Private bills are not passed only. What example can I give you? I gave the example of 1970 bill. What is the concern? Understand that I don't think you understood the topic only. All the laws made in the country in the last 53 years, guys, am I clear? Have always been initiated by the government only. I hope everybody is able to understand what this topic is all about. Every law you initiate and get it passed, right? I mean, a bill eventually is brought by government. Remember the first class, I mentioned this point. Initiating proposal for legislation. So everything is being done by the government only. Even the bills that are passed are all government bills. That is why it is very important to keep the executive in check. Farm bills, all such bills you can think of. CAA, examples of government bills only. Clear? Now, moving on to just to show an example. This is an example of a government bill. Government bill. This is an example of a private member bill. Why? Name is mentioned. Dr. D. Ravi Kumar, MP. He has brought this bill. Clear? Manish, why only on Friday? Now, this can't be a question, Manish. This is just like asking, why do we call Friday Friday? Why don't we call Thursday Friday? They had to choose one day. They chose Friday. Simple. Basically, most tasks are for the government to perform. So if your question is why it is limited to only one day, then the answer is that it is always the government which is bringing all these policies. So we are not getting time to get the government's bill discussed. How will you give time to all these MPs bills to be discussed? Because we also know that ruling party controls Lok Sabha, they will never get a bill passed which is brought by a non-minister. So what's the point? So it is just that one day was chosen. You could have chosen Monday also, Tuesday also, Friday also. That is fine. Nothing special. In which session bills get passed? Every session bills get passed. Okay. Solve this question. Came in 2017. I hope it will. Sir, Gayatri, is it can be a minister or not? Recent. It was not passed for the first time. But and recently also is 1970. It can't be recent also. So both are wrong. D is the right answer. Moving on now to bills and types of bills based on content, meaning topic. So one such bill is an ordinary bill which does not contain any monetary provision. Second would be a financial bill, bills that deal with monetary provisions. And third will be a constitutional amendment bill, bill which deals with amending the Indian Constitution. We have seen this under Article 368. Bhuvanesh, you please focus on studying. Useless messages, again, I have to point out. Okay. Now, passage of bills in the parliament. Ordinary bills first. What are these ordinary bills? Bills which don't have any monetary provision, bills which don't have any constitutional amendment provision, ordinary bills dealing with infrastructure, dealing with Citizenship Act, all such things. Ordinary proposals. Okay. Now, every bill that is passed goes through three stages. There are three stages in the passage of the bill. We call those stages as readings. First reading, second reading, third reading. So now I'll explain how bills are passed in the House. These ordinary bills can be introduced in any house. It does not really matter. Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, any house. Okay. So introduction any house by any MP, whether you are elected or you are nominated, whether you are a private member or a minister, any MP can give a notice to bring a proposal that is an ordinary bill. But one point is that when you bring a proposal, you should always give reasons why you want to get the bill passed. And you have brought a proposal. The House wants to know, why is the law required? What's the need of this law? Why does the country need this law? So every bill also contains, every bill or every proposal, same thing, contains statement of objects and reasons. SOR. Basically, this is nothing but just a justification. Why is the bill required? Mentioning reasons. Okay. Now, first reading is what? First reading is just introduction. So what is going to happen is the MP, whoever it is, minister, non-minister, we don't care, some MP in the Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha will enter the house. Mind you, notice was given 7 days prior only. So now say 2:30, time is 2:30. The speaker says, yes, Mr. ABC, now read your proposal. What do you want to say? So the MP gets up, minister gets up and says, sir, I want to raise a proposal. I want to introduce a bill in the country, right? And then we'll explain. So member seeks the permission. We call it leave of the house. Not leave the house only, leave, permission of the house. Title and objectives are read. Why do we need the bill? What's the basic premise? Just a summary of the bill. Okay? No discussion will take place on this particular bill because you have just read the bill to the house. Very basic information. This is what is called first reading. Done. First reading is over. First stage is over. The bill has been put in the house in front of everybody. Now the members can read, understand, comprehend, absorb and discuss the bill. Bill is then published in the Gazette also, the government's magazine. We can also read the bill. We can also give our input. Clear? Now, second stage, meaning second reading. Second reading is now the discussion. So when the bill has been introduced, it is very important that the House discusses the bill. Are we clear? The House will discuss the bill. So bill receives detailed scrutiny, meaning comprehensive discussion will take place. That's the assumption on the bill. Now, sometimes think of it. Our MPs, most of them are very, very intellectual when it comes to debating on caste and religion. But when it comes to technical matters, the MPs may not have the understanding of that technical matter. Okay. Now, what the MPs would want, let's say I am the minister or I am an MP, I have given the notice, I got the date confirmed, I came, I read the bill. Now the MPs can immediately say, sir, I raise a proposal. This bill is too complicated. Please send this bill to some committee. So what's the concept of this committee? Just a sec, guys. Announce is full enjoyment. Okay, no BHA class on Thursday. So please make the best of it by studying. Okay, not having fun. Of course, I say this and you'll do it. Jan Mashtami. Dheeraj, explain this also. Sir, what to repeat? On Thursday, we have a holiday. Simple. Divyanshi, matlab. meaning no class on Thursday. Okay, let's not waste time. I can't explain this. Only polity. So, as I was saying, bills are technical in nature. Okay, so our MPs may not have the understanding. So, what can be done is the speaker can say, okay, you four MPs, you are very good at these tax matters. Take this bill, read the bill, go home, read it, understand it, make pointers, and bring the copy to me. Now I will table this bill in the House, and the House can have discussion. That's a very unique way. Expertise of some MPs can be taken on certain proposals. They can they can also look into providing their expertise on certain topics, and they can simplify the bill, which can be very complex sometimes, and the MPs can then understand and then start fighting on the bill. Okay, so a bill may be sent to committee of the House. Committees, some MPs can be chosen, and they can discuss on the bill separately and can give a report. Joint committee. So in fact, there are some committees which are joint committees, meaning MPs from both houses are there. A very, very good example of this kind of committee is DRSC. We'll discuss this in detail later on. So I'm not writing the full form, just note DRSC. Okay, the full form is Departmentally Related Standing Committee. But let's discuss it in detail later on. DRSCs. In fact, we have 24 such DRSCs on agriculture, health, coal, energy, finance, home, education, all these things. So if a bill comes, say on water, then that bill will be sent to that committee, and that committee has some people, around 31 people, the MPs. They can prepare a report, and then the House can discuss on that proposal, right? Otherwise, submitting a very technical kind of bill to all the MPs, half the MPs will have no idea only what the hell is happening, what are all these terms, right? The bill is also circulated for public opinion. When the bill is published in the Gazette, we also get to read, so we can also give our input. So if anybody wants to give an input, there are two options: online, mygov.in. This is not a part of your polity syllabus. I'm just telling you as a side note that informed people can give you can give some opinion there also. Go to the website and give your opinion to the government. Nobody cares, but no, some people may read it. Don't worry. Give your opinion. Or you can also write an application, letter, etc., and send it to the Lok Sabha or Raj Sabha, whichever house has brought the bill. That is what is called. That officer is called Secretary General in the Lok Sabha or in the Raj Sabha. So you can write your input, send it. They will get the application or letter and throw it in a dustbin. I mean, they may open and read it also. It's possible, but 1.4 billion people, etc. Right? So difficult. Anyway, second reading is over. Detailed discussion is over. Clear? See, there is no time limit or time gap that after first reading take 20 minutes break or take 10 days break. The second reading can start immediately also. Right? On very generic and basic bills, this discussion can start immediately. Sometimes 10 days, sometimes 5 days, sometimes 2 days. There is no fixed time gap between these two stages. Once the MPs have discussed the bill thoroughly, MPs get bored. They say, no, sir. No. We want voting. New topic. Getting bored. New topic. Let's vote and end this discussion. So the third reading would be voting. The bill is put to vote. Who decides on sending bill to committee? Presiding officer. Who decides on voting? Presiding officer. Are we clear? Everyone? So first reading, introduction. Second reading, discussion. Third reading or third stage, voting. Simple. No complication only. I don't see a question being created here. If you want, you can, but difficult to create a question here. And the voting is through a simple majority. Simple majority. Once it is passed, it is sent to the other house, where the exact three stages are repeated. So, in the other house, three stages: introduction, discussion, voting. Same three things, three readings. So, these three things are done. The real catch is voting, right? What is this angel slide of first reading? What is the problem here? This is a first reading. Guys, please follow. Don't ask me to go back. No, just one person. I can't go back for one person only. Please. Basic understanding. Now, what happens in the other house? Please tell me. When it comes to passing a bill, the first house has passed a bill. It has sent it to you, the second house. First house can be Lok Sabha. First house can be Rajya Sabha. It does not matter. Let us assume that the first house is the Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha has passed the bill. The bill comes to the second house. Okay. Now my point is, what are the options before second house? Or say, oh, first house, such an amazing bill, yeah, genius. How did you even think of this bill? Nice. They also passed the bill with the same majority. Okay. This bill then is sent to the president for his assent, signature, and he or she can do his own drama of veto powers. They have the veto powers. Second option, very nice, very sweet. Second house says that, see, I need to make some changes. They make changes and pass. So we say pass with modification. So they'll change some clause, etc., and then pass it. Now, if the first house accepts the change, that yes, second house, amazing, we forgot only. If first house accepts the modifications, then the bill goes to the president, done. But the real problem starts when the first house says, no. Why have you made this change? I don't like this kind of change. If first house does not accept the modifications, then what happens? We'll come to it. Or there's one more problem. What if the first house rejects the bill? Rejects, throw it away, nonsense bill, useless, stupid people. Okay. Or does nothing. The bill has come, the first house is sitting with the bill, like you sit with your PPTs, no revision, nothing. Same thing, exactly the same thing. Second house does nothing on the bill. Takes no action for 6 months. For 6 months, the first house keeps on waiting. What is happening? We have sent the bill, nothing is happening. In both these cases, there is a small problem. Problem is the conflict between both the houses. Either one house wants to pass the bill, other house does not want to pass the bill, or one house wants to pass the bill, but in the but in different form than the second house. How will the first house know the changes? Nothing is secret. You make the changes and you send it to the second house, first house. It is mandatory. It is a parliament. They won't do all these things, change it secretly. Everything is getting recorded. Okay. Don't think that they made some change secretly and pass it and send it to the president. President, sign it quickly. These things don't happen. This is not our friends group, guys. It's a parliament, right? So, okay. Anyway, so there's a conflict between these two in these two situations. So the point is conflict between two houses. You can call it a deadlock. A deadlock has occurred. Bill can't proceed only. Both houses are fighting. So what happens is, to resolve this deadlock, President may call for a joint sitting. The president can say, okay, houses, don't fight, come on, come together, sit together. Like when couples fight, couples therapy is there. Okay. So sit together and then discuss and then vote. Okay. Clear, everyone? No, Tushar. Yes, Tushar. Voting also happens for yes. If there's a change, voting. Clear? Prachurya, first house, it can be any house. Bill can be introduced in the Lok Sabha or the Rajya Sabha. Are we clear? Joint sitting. This is what is called a joint sitting under the provisions of Article 108. And this is something we have borrowed from what? Australia. So this is joint sitting, Article 108, which means both houses are going to sit together like this. All the MPs of Lok Sabha, all the MPs of Rajya Sabha sit together in the Lok Sabha office building only. Why? Because Lok Sabha has space. Don't worry. Clear? And the presiding officer, who presides? The speaker presides. Clear? And since this particular joint sitting is taking place in the Lok Sabha, my house, my rules. Lok Sabha rules are followed, not Rajya Sabha rules. Clear? Then voting is done. Voting by a simple majority, and the bill is passed. Okay. So Lok Sabha has 543 MPs. Raj Sabha has 245 MPs. You can see very well that here Lok Sabha has a numerical advantage. Yes or no? If there is any situation where the Lok Sabha wants to get the bill passed and Raj Sabha does not, the bill is always passed. Are we clear? Everybody, any doubt? Astha says, what is meant by Lok Sabha rules? Only if you had revised Astha, you'd not be asking this question. In the topic speaker, we saw that the speaker is the final interpreter of the rules of procedure and conduct of business of the house. Yesterday I explained this, that house functions through a rule book. Everything that is being done in the house, it is done through rules. Where are those mentioned? It can't be random. It's in a book. That book is called the Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business in the Lok Sabha, or in short, Lok Sabha rules. Sumo President's reconsideration. Same process is not required. Again, conflict. How can there be a conflict? Now we are taking a voting here. What's the conflict here? All the people sit together and we take the combined majority. 543 plus 245, 788. For those who don't know, 788 people can sit in total and we take the vote. Are we clear? Voting. If more than 50% people say yes, done. Bill is passed. So far, joint sitting has happened only 3 times, 1, 2 and 3. Once in 1961, once in 1978, and one in this POTA, Prevention of Terrorism Bill. Very dangerous kind of bill, POTA. It is now being repealed. POTA is now gone. So in 2001, when Indian Parliament was attacked, right, some of our left-wing liberals have written books on this also, and they have said that it is wrong. Afzal Guru was wrongfully arrested by the courts, arrested by the police, and punished by judiciary. That, of course, it's difficult to please the left-wing liberals of this country. Whatever you do, they will never be happy. They'll be happy if there's complete chaos in the country. That's what makes them happy. And same goes for right wings also. Exactly the same. Anyway, so this POTA was a very dangerous kind of law. Just to tell you, normally what happens is, and a simple piece of information for you, whenever you give any testimony in front of the police, you accept your mistake. Let's say the police arrests you and you accept your mistake that yes, I killed the person, right? It does not matter. The police cannot use your testimony, your confession in the court. That is not accepted. Why? Because the court says, what if you have threatened the person, slapping the person, then he's forced to accept the mistake. It's a very novel procedure. But POTA was such a unique law which said that if an SP is present and the accused accepts the mistake, that particular confession in the presence of a superintendent of police can be acceptable in court as accepting your guilt also. 5 slaps make them accept everything. So it was a very draconian kind of law. It is gone, but not completely, because the governments are very smart. They removed this law, but added the provisions of this law in a different law called UPA. One more dangerous law which exists in the country is UPA, Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. We'll discuss this law under fundamental rights. Don't worry. Okay. So this is with respect to the joint sitting. And of course, I think you know dowry prohibition bill also, right? Some of you are planning to take dowry. So that's dowry prohibition bill. Don't take dowry. It's a criminal offense. You will end up in jail. Make your own money. Are we clear on joint sitting? Praful, sir, President calls joint sitting, of course, on the recommendation of the guys. President's power. Understand that discretionary list. This is actually when the Council of Ministers tell the President, sir, ma'am, call for joint sitting. That's when he calls. It's not his own power. Clear? And joint sitting is not mandatory. It is optional provision. may not call for it. Yes, Deepika, simple majority. Pooja, followed by VP and President also, Speaker rules. Why would the VP and President follow Speaker rules in the House? They don't even sit in the House of Lok Sabha. Last joint sitting happened on Manipur topic. Don't fall prey to WhatsApp forwards, guys. Just this, nothing else. Okay. Second bill was not repealed. The second bill was there only. Now, will the VP sit in the joint sitting? Tell me, guys. Will the VP sit in the joint sitting? No, of course he will not. VP, why will the VP sit in the joint sitting? VP will not sit in joint sitting because he or she is not the member of the house. VP is sitting in his house, enjoying watching on TV, either the proceedings or some Netflix series. Clear? VP does not take part in the joint sitting. If second house rejects the bill and joint sitting would not be called, then nothing happens. If a joint sitting is not called here, no problem. The bill is pending forever. Hundreds of bills are pending forever. Simple. If a joint sitting does not happen, then nothing happens to the bill. Clear? Yes, Shubha. Absolutely correct. Dheeraj, 6-month period excludes recess. Gopal, yes, speaker can vote in case of a tie. Lakshmi, you know very well what happens in tie. Casting vote by the presiding officer, who is a speaker in this case. Does the president act as speaker in joint sitting? Why this statement, sir? He just calls. The presiding officer is speaker. Sir, how VP can vote? Anurag, that is a provision specially meant for presiding officers to vote in the house. That is why presiding officers vote only in case of tie. Nothing else. Done. Joint sitting over. Ordinary bills done. Now let's come to the second type of bills, which are called financial bills. A.S. Hussain had mentioned this yesterday only. Casting vote has recently in Rajya Sabha in 1991 it took place, in Lok Sabha 3-4 times in the last 20-30 years, once in 2008, once in 2014, once in 1997. So it does take place, but very rarely. Casting vote is not a regular thing. Now, monetary matters are called financial bills. Financial bills can be of three types. Type 1, type 2, and the third type is called money bill. So we have financial bill first type, financial bill second type, and third is money bill. Clear? Okay. Let us now discuss what are some special provisions for money bill. So the procedure to pass a money bill is mentioned in Article 109. The same concept is there, the same three readings are there with some differences. What's the difference? The difference is with respect to certain small points. Number one, ordinary bill can be passed or can be introduced in any house, Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, but money bills can be introduced only in the Lok Sabha. Clear? Only in Lok Sabha. Number two, for money bills, prior recommendation of president is also required. That's a special case. Number three, money bills are introduced only by ministers. And let me tell you a very, very important point. This is just a practice. It is not mentioned anywhere. The constitution, let's write this, not mentioned in the constitution. The constitution does not say that money bill can be brought only by minister, but actually money bills are brought by ministers only, because the minister can give the president the advice that, sir, please give permission. A non-minister, what kind of advice will he give to the president? Nothing. So normally it's a practice that money bills are brought only by ministers. But if a question is asked, as per the constitution, money bills are introduced by ministers only, that's a wrong statement. Nothing is mentioned in the constitution. Now, whenever a bill is brought in the house, who will decide the bill is money bill? The speaker decides. Again, importance of speaker. When the speaker passes the bill to the, when the house passes the bill and sends it to the other house, the speaker signs, endorses it, signs it. Endorse means to sign. Okay, the bill as money bill, and it was said that their decision is final, can't be challenged. But Supreme Court says that speaker's decision is subject to what review? Judicial review. The very famous Raja Rampal case 2007. In this case, Supreme Court said, what is final? Nothing is final until we say so. What if speaker is deliberately and wrongfully categorizing a bill as money bill? We can't let this happen. Sorry, speaker. We can challenge it. Like in the case of Aadhaar bill. In the case of Aadhaar bill, the decision of the speaker was challenged in the what? Supreme Court. Clear? A Charan, ministers means non-ministers? Anyway. Now comes the real catch here. When the speaker signs that this is a money bill and the bill is sent to the Rajya Sabha, what can Rajya Sabha do? Nothing. Rajya Sabha can do nothing. Clear? Rajya Sabha can do nothing. Meaning, Rajya Sabha can suggest some changes. Can suggest changes. Look at the change of language. Pass with modification. But here, Rajya Sabha can only suggest changes. Those changes may or may not be accepted by the Lok Sabha. If the Rajya Sabha takes no action, the maximum time for which no action can be taken is 14 days. It has to pass the bill within 14 days. If you keep on sitting with the bill, then what happens? Somebody comes after 14 days, snatches the bill and goes away. Bill is passed. It is sent to the president. And we know very well, the president cannot return the money bill. Meaning, what veto can't be used? Please tell me. What? Yes, tell me the. Okay. Some of you have mentioned. Now, great. No suspensive veto. In case of money bill, there is no suspensive veto. Clear? This is the procedure to pass a money bill. But the question is, after all, what the hell is a money bill? Right? So, now the definition of money bill. Money bill or a proposal which is called a money bill should deal with only these provisions, nothing else. That bill should have only any or all of these provisions. The moment the bill has something else, speaker's decision. My bad. Yeah. I was writing Supreme Court's judgment. Suddenly I changed the statement only. Speaker's decision is subject to judicial review. Okay. So money bill definition is mentioned under Article 110, and please don't complicate this matter. I will tell you how to mug up this entire 6 points. Very, very simple. Just hear me out. Any tax matter is a money bill. Any tax matter is a money bill. Whether you are imposing a tax, abolishing a tax, for some time reducing a tax, modifying a tax, that does not matter. Tax matter, only tax matter, money bill. Or any kind of borrowing of money by the government of India or giving guarantee. So borrowing of money, if the government wants to borrow money, a bill is there, please allow us to borrow money, that's a money bill. Simple. Or the custody of CFI or contingency fund of India, the payment of money into and the withdrawal of money from such fund. So custody of CFI, money bill. Here the word monies is used. Just for those who don't know, monies is not incorrect. Monies is actually different forms of money. Okay, different forms of money, meaning money can be in the form of currency, in the form of Indian currency, foreign currency, in the form of gold, etc. Different forms of money is called monies. Clear? Divyanshi, again, custody. Okay, third point. So I thought I'll just help you remember it, but some of you, clearly two of you, have a problem with this word custody. Okay. You have a bank account. Who has the custody of the bank account? Under whose control is that bank account? Tell me. Your GPay or your phone is under whose custody? Under your custody. Are we clear? Simple. So the control, the custody of CFI contingency fund, putting money inside, taking money out of these funds, that is called a money bill. If the bill contains that particular proposal that we have to take out money from CFI, put in money under CFI, that's also called a money bill. Next, appropriation of money. What is appropriation? Please tell me. What is appropriation? We have discussed this word. Appropriation means to withdraw, withdrawal of money. Whenever you take out money from CFI, that is called a money bill. The entire budget is what? When you take out money to waste it, sorry, to spend it in the country, that's what? A budget. What is that? Money bill. Then anything that is called a charge expenditure. Charge expenditure. Remember? Salary of president, allowance of president, salary of Supreme Court judge, allowance of Supreme Court judge, pension, etc., salary of CAG, all these things are called charge expenditure. What is charge expenditure? No voting, only discussion. Charge expenditure, money bill. And receiving money on account of CFI or PAI. Simple. When you receive money under PAI or under CFI, that is also called money bill. Just remember these 6 keywords. What? Taxation, borrowing of money, custody of CFI, withdrawal from CFI, charge expenditure, and receipt of money. Are we clear on this? Everybody? Now see, when it comes to money bill, the real point to understand is that the bill, so last point, this point, any matter incidental on these matters, meaning anything that is these, same thing, one or more, but only these points. A proposal should not have any other thing. and F point says receiving money on account of CFI or PAI. Or one more thing, audit of these accounts. Any kind of audit of these accounts are also money bills. Clear? Everybody? Lakshmi, bill on change in salary and pension. Yes, only that, nothing else. So I'm constantly telling you that only this, nothing else. Only this, nothing else. Why am I stressing on this? Because the moment you add any other type of provision here, this bill stops being a money bill. That's the problem. Okay. So I'll give an example now. How does a bill which deals with monetary provision not be called a money bill? That is a classic example of a financial bill. Type 1. This is mentioned under Article 117. Please follow very, very carefully. It's very easy to understand if you pay attention. So, back in the year 2000, the government wanted to improve the condition of roads because it was found through NCRB data also that most road accidents happen because of poor quality of roads. Okay, so the concern was that if we don't improve the condition of roads, then the deaths will keep on happening. So the government said, let's do one thing. Let's impose imposition of cess. Let's impose an additional tax on tax, cess, some kind of tax on petrol and diesel. Whoever purchases petrol, diesel, they have to pay some additional amount in the your receipt only. It's there. This money, all the money that you get from here, this cess, this money will be kept in CFI under a fund called Central Road Fund. Are you clear? Yashwant, what is the problem here? Please clarify. Is this visible, guys? This article 117 clause 1, or there's some problem? To be kept in some account that is called Central Road Fund. My simple question to you, so far from what I've explained here, what kind of bill is this? Tell me. So far from what I've explained here, what is your assumption? What kind of bill is this? This is without doubt a money bill. Yes or no? You are directly taking money and putting it in CFI. It's a classic definition of money bill. No problem. So I hope we are all okay right now that we are discussing a money bill. You'll say, sir, this is money bill. But wait. This bill also had a secondary provision. What was that? This Central Road Fund, this money from Central Road Fund, this to be used for improving the condition of roads, the national highways, the rural roads, etc. Are you clear? Now tell me, when I say that I have to spend some money or I have to improve the highways, my target is to improve highways. This part is a focus on infrastructure. Is this a money bill? strict definition of Article 110, nothing beyond, not your own assumption that yes, sir, money is being spent here. No, I am saying, is this mentioned anywhere under Article 110? Tell me, definition. Does it talk about imposing a tax? Does it talk about custody of CFI? Does it talk about guarantee from government? Does it talk about charge expenditure? Does it talk about any kind of audit? No, this is not. Somebody saying yes. No, it is not. This this part of the bill is completely an ordinary proposal. Ordinary matters. Let me just use a different color pen to mention this point. So this thing is ordinary matter, and this is a matter under Article 110. Such bills which not only contain matters under Article 110 but also other type of general matters, general legislation, a combination of ordinary plus what? A combination of ordinary plus money bill is what? Financial bill type 1. It is a financial bill, not a money bill, because money bill means just these things: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If your proposal contains these things only, that is what is called a money bill. If you make any kind of change and add some more provisions, that makes your proposal a financial bill type 1. Are we clear, everybody? And such bills can be introduced only in the Lok Sabha on the recommendation of the president. This means ideally by ministers only. That's it. There is no other special provision here. Raj Sabha has equal powers in all other aspects, meaning joint sitting is possible, passing with modification possible. Every such thing is possible, nothing unique. Are we clear? The only point is the introduction process is the same as money bill, but when it comes to passage, there is no difference whatsoever. Clear? Done. We are done with financial bills type 1, and that should be it for today also. Clear? Let's end our discussion here only today. Tomorrow, we'll take up for discussion the financial bill type 2, and we'll continue further with our discussion on the other provisions, question R, 0, and all that. Interesting stuff to come tomorrow. Types of motions, NCM, budget passage, all such things tomorrow. That's all for me, guys. Jai Hind. Questions if you have any. And now, please, I hope now you have to understand that the political theory book must be read 10 chapters. Recommendation of President Basu means the president will approve. That's recommendation. Durga, is it binding to follow the order of president? Yes, it's binding. President's order. Raj Sabha will not suggest any modification for money bill. Mayank Vadvani, what are you doing, sir? Money bill. This is a financial bill. It is different from money bill, sir. So 1 day prior notice is only in special cases. So there that point will not be followed, because once the bill is published in the Gazette, there is no need to republish it. Chapter 22 of Lakshmikant. So separating money and financial bills. Money bill is a very strict kind of bill, which has very limited definition. A financial bill is a bill which deals with money matters and other such matters also. That is why separation. And Lakshmi, yes, suspensive veto applicable. And Siva, see the video, you'll understand it recorded once. This is a general legislation. Example, ordinary matters, general legislation. Mujtaba, ideally by ministers only, introduced by ministers only. Like here, introduced by only ministers, same thing, by ministers only. Okay. President denies to give permission. No, the president will not deny to give permission, because the order comes from the Council of Ministers. Okay. Pavitra, I have explained this. Please see the video. Is it require prior recommendation? Yes, it is mentioned here. Basu, it is mentioned in the line. Don't ask a question which is mentioned right on the screen. Lakshmi, yes, cases, the content is important, not the case story. Who filed a case, how much money was taken, not that. Just the content. Okay? And few people. There is no, and that Anita, Khushi, Anurag,